Alrighty then, it's time for a Tryndamere game. And much like the pattern I've been keeping up as of late with team battles, I will be talking about Tryndamere more rather than the commentary itself. Tryndamere. In this game, I'm taking pure attack speed on everything. I don't know if I took magic resistance blues, but it's armor yellows and some random blues. Attack speed quints, attack speed red, 2190 masteries. But anyways, the reasoning for that is to make use of his passive as much as possible and try to get crits. Because this guy, as much as, strong as he can be in the jungle, he's still RNG related and he can just backfire in most stupid of ways. So, one thing I actually did in the tier list, believe it or not, is I put Fiora above him in the jungle tier list. And why would I do that? It's because while Tryndamere can definitely do more stuff than Fiora in the game and snowball a lot faster from the jungle, Fiora has consistency while Tryndamere is still kind of like playing Russian roulette. Like, when you jungle as Tryndamere, you have to jungle with lower health to make use of his steroids and stuff like that. So you're pretty much jungling at low, at a little unsafe amount. Yes, you can use your Q for sustain, but that hurts your clearing speed. So in a way, he has negative sustain. Because if you drain it for health, you go slower and you get hit more and whatever. And if you don't, then you're farming at a low amount of health, and shit can get bad if someone decides to pop in and say hello. So Tryndamere is just risky as all hell. Like, you see me use my Q only when I know I'm gonna kill a whole nother camp, and I'll get more stacks of my I get more rage and stuff like that. So let's say go into the wraiths. Before I kill the big one, I use my Q, heal myself up, and then I get 4 kills from the big one from the big wraith and 3 from the small wraith, so I get more of my rage back. So that's one way to do it. There is one thing though, for a positive of him though, is the damage you do as Tryndamere is extreme, even early if you get lucky with crits. So if you get unlucky, you might as well take a gun and shoot yourself through the mouth. His ultimate does allow for some turret diving, but honestly, it's very weak turret diving. Tryndamere's ganks are terrible. That's not even up for debate. The IS slow is good, and the damage reduction can be good, but he's got problems chasing because his E is not exactly the greatest thing ever. When you just use it by itself, it's a basic gap closer with no CC attached, and it's kind of slow. It's actually kind of very slow, and the range isn't as great as you'd want it to be. And yes, you can reduce the cooldown of it, but you're not hitting anything when you're approaching the gank. Now, your fear, not even your fear, your slow, won't work unless you're turned around, so you have to get the right angle, which is not really that hard, to be honest, but it can fuck up, so there's that contingency towards it, that room for failure. And then, of course, you're still pure melee, and you don't have any other buttons to press for damage, because your E is used primarily for gap closing. So you gotta rely on your summoner spells, especially something like Ghost, which is why a lot of Jungle Tryndamere take Ghost, because you just suck at chasing somebody if you're coming to gank them, because they haven't burned all their crap, and you haven't baited any of it out. Your reliance on your teammates is too extreme. Of course, though, if you have a red buff, and if you have movement speed through boots and other items, and your opponents do not, you're going to start running a train on them. You get to start doing really stupid shit. So that's why on Jungle Tryndamere, you often see them do stuff like build Berserker's Greaves and then Zeal for the movement speed, attack speed. They don't exactly build attack damage so quickly on Tryndamere. They're just pumping out that movement speed on them so you can actually stick on someone and, cleave them and hope for a couple of lucky crits. And if you don't get those crits and can't kill them, then you just, leave with your E and retreat, and hopefully your ultimate helps you. Tryndamere is all about luck, and you take attack speed and movement speed to try to maximize that luck. Like, you hit them 10 times and hopefully 3 of those crit. So, look, you saw throughout this whole game, I kind of did nothing. I mean, my team is stomping him, and I'm kind of there taking advantage of some things. But overall, my impact is very minimal, even when I was, being very assertive in my invasion. I go up to someone and cleave them, but they're already in safe range. I try to, attack someone from behind, and they retreat or some shit. My ultimate plays a huge part in this, and I get to, survive some bullshit moments like just then. But Tryndamere, as in the jungle, is still just a gamble. Can he carry? Definitely. But it doesn't mean he's, gonna win you the game. Honestly, lane Tryndamere is much stronger than Jungle Tryndamere, because Jungle Tryndamere won't have too much pressure from the jungle unless he gets fed and buys early mobility or whatnot. He just requires too much farm and the jungle doesn't give it to him. And I know the Feral Flare is nice and all, but honestly, Tryndamere doesn't really even need it. You just need crit damage and you just start destroying people and cutting them too. Either way, the game was actually very fun and the occasional games where nobody brings CC.